First Corinthians 12 verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, would not have you ignorant.
Pastor Wind, I mentioned now that we can change our character by looking for visions. Many times, we are limited to belief. However, I have also seen some people get a lot of common information at work to confirm. About this change in personality, could God be in some other category, our jobs, our families, or even other aspects?
In fact, it involves a unique kind of belief thinking. It's independent and unique. Purpose requires us to make trade-offs in the process. Most importantly, as we are led by God, every growth is bound to have contradictions, trade-offs, difficulties, and there are problems we need to solve. Take learning math, for example. In the process, there are no questions for you to answer. Whether it's a class, a quiz, an exam, or a final exam, they keep throwing questions at you, and each one is harder than the last. So, about faith-based thinking, the difficulty is that the more room there is for growth, basically, the less reference they have, therefore, the difficulty is higher. Like the open book test, the difficulty is very low. These guys are at their highest level, that's all. So, you asked if this would be like a temple or a priest. But the thing is, when we learned about the temple, in fact, there were many born who were not priests. For example, David, Solomon, none of them are priests. In many of the systems set up by God, as I said, in every age, some people live in that situation. Some may even have been born Levites, like the priests of Israel. Similarly, the Lord Jesus was born Jewish. Like I said, a lot of times, the more difficult it is, the more unique it is, because he had nothing to look up to, or the logical possibility. Because you were born a Levite, it's the logical path to the priesthood. Obviously, this is relatively limited in difficulty, because its uniqueness is low. However, you and some vocational ministers can observe, in the process, are your contributions and growth proportional? And, because of this uniqueness, will your contributions complement each other in faith? In this way, we can find the way out of faith. Remember, what we call the faith outlet or thinking, it's not a way to escape. It is not through these methods that it becomes easier for us to do it. Sometimes, the path God puts us on is more complicated. Therefore, for vocational ministers in the church, $1 preachers, or maybe you're a documenter, it has been a great success. In the process, it can become the success it is today. It's all because of your identity in God's arrangement, in the unique scenario produced, born in response to your faith-based thinking. Sometimes, the difficulty gets even higher. You can't have it both ways. However, your contribution to the faith has increased. This is a growing process. For some people, some references will cost them more, but for others with unique standpoints, these references actually reduced their efforts and made it relatively easy to do. Or even a form of escape. So, everyone has to grow up, and find balance in the validation that God gives. And the license plate witness when you started working as a documenter, after 14 years, you have to be this identity. This witness can be so consistent. In other words, the highest level of faith-based thinking grows. It is unique. Sometimes, others can do it, but when he does, it's an escape. In the process, because of this uniqueness, it drives people to use more intellect, thinking, calculation, and comparison. Undoubtedly, it's all more sophisticated and complex. In this way, he may leave a more exquisite mind in eternity. That's precisely what happened when we had dinner yesterday. The concept of faith-based thinking is discussed. 1 Corinthians 12 verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, would not have you ignorant.
舉個例，就好似你讀數學嘅話，其實冇可能係唔會有問題俾你去解答。無論係喺上堂、喺考試，都係不斷拋啲問題俾你，而一個比一個更加難。所以信仰思維其實難就難在，對於越有成長空間嘅人，基本上係越少能夠有參考，嗰個難度咪更加高咯。
Unique paths we tread in the heat of the fight. Faith grows with each step in the darkness of night. Greater strife, deep wells of thought, bravery in battles fought, leaving marks on history, legacies for all to see. Together we'll rise, strong minds and hearts, creating a legacy, leaving lasting marks. In struggles we find our wisdom's true light. Forever in time, our thoughts take flight.
記住，我哋所講嘅信仰出路或者係信仰思維，佢本身唔係一種逃避，唔係用呢個方法可以更易做。有陣時神叫我哋行嘅路係更難做，佢會成功係因為神所俾你屬於你嘅身份嘅安排所產生嘅獨特場景底下，因應你自己嘅信仰思維而誕生嘅。
Our intellect shines in the trials we face, leaving thoughts behind.